You know, right now, as you're listening to this, there is an incredible, complex network of material holding your entire body together. And no, it's not your bones, but it is just as crucial. We're talking about soft tissue, what I like to call the body's unsung hero. And in the next few minutes, we are going to dive into what it is, what it does, and what happens when it gets injured.
So let's kick things off with a question that I'm pretty sure you've experienced firsthand. What do a sprain, a strain, and a simple bruise all have in common? Just think about it for a second.
You got it. The answer, of course, is that they're all injuries to our soft tissue. And that brings us to the really big question. What is soft tissue anyway? Well, the answer goes way more than just skin deep. Okay, so the official definition is that it's all the non-hard supportive stuff in the body. But honestly, the easiest way to think about it is by what it isn't. Imagine you take away all the hard parts of your body, your bones and your cartilage. Pretty much everything else that's left, that's your soft tissue.
So, seriously, picture your skeleton for a moment. Soft tissue is all the amazing biological material that fills in the gaps, wrapping around and connecting that entire framework to create the body that you and I know. It's the whole shebang. So if it's all that other stuff, what exactly are we talking about here? Let's break down the key components of this incredible internal support system that, well, literally holds you together.
And the variety here is just astounding. I mean, it includes your skin, all of your muscles, and those tough, fibrous bands that hold everything in place. You know, your tendons, which connect muscle to bone, and ligaments, which connect bone to bone. But wait, there's more. It also includes the entire web of your blood vessels and all your nerves. It is a truly vast network.
So what's the big collective job for all these different parts? Well, their function is actually pretty simple, but absolutely vital: to connect, support, and surround every other structure and organ in your body. Without this system, we couldn't move, and our organs would have zero protection.
But because this system is so active and complex, it's also vulnerable. So let's shift gears a little. We've talked about what soft tissue is. Now let's talk about what happens when things go wrong, when we get a soft tissue injury.
A soft tissue injury is, you guessed it, exactly what it sounds like. It's any damage that happens to those components we just mentioned, the muscles, the ligaments, the tendons, and all the other connective tissues that make up this incredible system.
So what does this kind of damage actually look like in real life? Well, let's run through 5 of the most common types of soft tissue injuries. Let's call them the usual suspects.
All right, let's take a closer look. First up, we've got sprains. This is when you stretch or tear a ligament. Think about rolling your ankle. Ouch. Next are strains, which are really similar, but they involve damage to a muscle or a tendon, like when you pull a hamstring. Then you've got contusions, which is just the fancy medical term for a bruise. That's caused by an impact that damages the tiny blood vessels under your skin. And finally, we have tendinitis and bursitis. These are usually overuse injuries. Tendinitis is when a tendon gets all inflamed, and bursitis is the inflammation of the bursa, which are these little fluid-filled sacs that cushion your joints. I'd be willing to bet you've had at least one of these in your life.
Now, there's one final layer to understanding all these injuries. They're typically classified into 2 main categories, and it all comes down to a really key distinction. Is the skin broken or not?
So, on one side, you have closed injuries. Think about a deep bruise or that sprained ankle. All the damage, all the bleeding, it's all happening internally, under a perfectly intact layer of skin. But on the other side, you've got open injuries. This is your classic cut or scrape. Here, the skin is actually broken, which exposes the internal tissues and, of course, creates a risk of infection.
So when you really put it all together, you can see that soft tissue isn't just some random collection of parts. No way! It's a huge interconnected system that is absolutely essential for letting us move, for supporting our entire structure, and for protecting our bodies from the inside out. So, here's what I want to leave you with. You now know about this complex, absolutely vital support system that's working inside you every single second of the day. The only question left is, how are you going to protect it?